Hello TCG enthusiasts, and once more welcome to yet another Yu-Gi-Oh testing. We've had a lot of fun in this series, especially now with the format so open to so many decks, and it's time today to test a fan favorite of mine, a deck I love quite a lot, and I played a lot of my locals, 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐾. So let's check out the deck list. So the I cards, or 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐾 cards, is probably one of my favorite decks I've played for quite a while now in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I strongly believe, this deck can have a chance in the local scene. I don't think it's going to be very good in the competitive scene, but you never know. This format's very open. But I think in the competitive and the casual scene, I think this deck is very, very fun, and I think can help you out in your locals. So let's do a card by card. So first up, let's start with the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐾 monsters. We have 3 Picari. This is your searcher for all 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐾 spells and trap cards. And that's really about it. You can also target 1 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐾 monster you control. A level becomes 4, but we're not really going to matter about that. All we care about Picari for is the grab. We have 3 𝐒𝐒. 𝐒𝐒 allows you to, when Picari is on normal or special summon, 𝐒𝐒 on normal or special summon, you can add a level 4 or lower 𝐒𝐒𝐾𝐾 monster. And then the secondary effect does not matter. But if you want to know, at start damage step, when your Cyberse monster battles, you can banish this card from your graveyard, destroy that monster you control. Not exactly sure why you'd ever do that, but it's there. We have then the 2 Doans. Doans with normal special summon, you can target 1 𝐒𝐒𝐾𝐾 monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, and then when it is used, then if this monster is used for link summon, you can add 1 𝐒𝐒𝐾 spell or trap card back to your hand. For some one-offs, we have Buru. Buru, you can, when normal special summon, you can send 1 𝐒𝐾 monster to your graveyard. So we'll be sending, of course, Denmari. And then also, if it's used for a synchro summon, you can then special summon 1 4 or lower 𝐒𝐾 monster from your graveyard. We have Hahari. Hahari is just here to be another name. We are really not going to care about its other things. If you control 𝐒𝐾 monster, you can special summon this card, and then you contribute 1 other Cyberse monster, add 1 level of a higher 𝐒𝐾 monster from your deck to your hand. Which, of course, our only other level 5 or higher is Denmari, but we're going to send Denmari off of Buru. So Denmari, when you control a level 6. A link 6 monster on the field, you can banish it from the graveyard to negate the effect of a face-up card on your opponent's side of the field. And then Gachari 𝐒𝐾 has 2 effects. The first time each Cyberse monster you control would be destroyed by card effect. This turn, it is not destroyed. You can only use each of the following effects. You can target 1 Cyberse effect monster you control, negate the effects if you special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 face-up monster you control. That target is unaffected by your opponent's card effects, so it may come up. But that is the 𝐒𝐾 monsters. For the 𝐒𝐾 spell and trap spell cards, because we're not running any trap cards, we have I Meet You. This allows you to show a 2300 or more attack monster in your hand or extra deck, and then add the corresponding element attribute to your hand. So if you show, for instance, Heat Soul, you can get 𝐒𝐒 to your hand. Then during the end phase, if you did not link special summon that monster that you showed, you take 2300 damage to your face. I believe also you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of the turn after this card resolves except Cyberse monsters, which isn't going to be too hard for us. Our entire main monster lineup or extra deck monster lineup is all Cyberse. So we have 3 of that. We have 3 of the Field spell, 𝐒𝐾 Island. It can be activated in your main phase if you control no monsters in your main monster zones. You can special summon 1 𝐒𝐾 level 4 or lower monsters from your hand to the field. If you do so, you cannot special summon that attribute again. So if you go light, you can't do light again on it. So you only get 1 time out of each of these. You only get 1 fire, 1 dark, 1 light, and 1 wind. But that's all we need to go through the deck. And then for a couple of other cards, we have Idol Reborn. This allows you to target an 𝐒𝐾 monster on graveyard and special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters the rest of this turn. After this card resolves, it says Cyber monsters. When an attack is declared involving 2 monsters, you can banish this card from your graveyard and 1 card from your hand and target one of your eye, spell or trap card that is banished or in your graveyard, except Idle Reborn, and add it to your hand. So you can only use both of those effects once per turn. And then we have Eye Contact. So basically, if you have a field spell up on the field and then you have a field spell in your hand, you can use this to reveal the field spell in your hand, put it in the bottom of your deck, and then draw 3 cards. So very, very nice. Able to cycle into 3 cards as well. So you're basically plus 2ing. For other good Cyberse cards to go along with it, we have the 3 Paralog Seeds. If we ever link summon, we can special summon this card out, and then we can special summon another copy of itself. And that's really about it for all the other monster-wise. Our hand trap lineup, of course, is just Ash Blossom and Effect Veiler. This is pretty much open. You can put any 6 hand traps you want in your deck, the other hand trap being impermanent, so 9 hand traps altogether that you can fit in your deck. We have Sign and Mining to, of course, search out all our Cyberse cards. We have the 1 Pot of Desires. I've never found a need for a second Pot of Desires. I kind of just want the 1. We have the 1 Terraforming to search out the field spell. We get the Upstart Goblin to draw that 1 card. Called by the Grave, to deal with hand traps, and then Cosmic Cyclone to deal with back row. For the extra deck, we have the 1 Wind Pegasus Adagnister. We have the 1 Light Dragon Adagnister, which this does come up a little bit. If a monster you control would be destroyed by other card effects, you can detach 1 material from this card instead. You can only use each effect. His major effect is that you can detach 1 material from this card, destroy face-up monsters your opponent controls up to the number of Adagnisters, so it does include himself, so you do get 1 pop if that. But when another Cyberse monster you control inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon 1 Link monster from your graveyard. Very nice. Yeah, Wind Agnes Pegasus, if you've never seen it, when a card on your field is destroyed during your main phase, you can destroy spell traps your opponent controls. We're never going to have that because it's always going to be going into the graveyard. If another card you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, while this card is on the field or in the graveyard, you can banish this card and target 1 card your opponent controls, shuffle it into their deck. We have the Arrival Adagnister. This thing is basically just unaffected. You can only control 1 of him. The original attack of this becomes 1,000 times the number of Link materials used, so I can only get it up to 5k. As a beat 6, it's unaffected by other card effects. Once per turn, you can target 1 other monster on the field, destroy, and if you do special summon 1 Agnister token. The one problem you have with this is that kaijus can still go over this, so be mindful. Yes, it's unaffected by a lot of things, but kaiju still exists in the format, so be mindful of that. We have the 1 Dark Templar that basically will go into the Adagnister. So basically, if a monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, even during the damage step, you can special summon as many level 4 or lower Adagnister monsters from your graveyard as possible to your zones this card points to, but their effects are negated. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, we're not going to care. We're never going to battle with this man, but it might come up. We have the Kotogger Heat Soul. He's just here to go for the Aichi play, but if we do happen to make him, you can basically pay 1,000 life points and draw 1 card. It's a quick effect there, and then he gains 500 attack for each monster it points to. We have the 2 Transcode Talkers to summon it and then bring them back. Bring back anything, for instance, like Update Jammer if you wanted to go Transcode Talker, Update Jammer combo. But anyways, you can resurrect a Link 3 monster from your graveyard. We have the Update Jammer to go for the swing twice. We have Security Dragon. Once, while face up on the field, if this card is co-linked, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls to return to their hand. You can only use that once. That is a one-time use effect. That's all that is for. Splash Mage, be able to resurrect a Cyberse monster from your graveyard. Cyberse Wick Kid is how we get into Buru and trigger off the Buru plays. And then we have Dark Infant. This just gets you into the Agnister AI land. So basically 3 different terraformings in the deck to get the field spell. Not mentioning that Aichi, that Picari can get you into the field spell as well. So we have lots of ways to get our hands on the field spell, one of the main components of the deck. But also he can, so quick effect, you can move this card to your main monster zone points to, then you can change its type. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to summon the Dark Templar, then you're going to special summon any form of one of your Agnister monsters, You're going to turn that at, you're not going to ignore Dark Templar's effect. Then you're going to go into Dark Infant. Dark Infant's going to trigger his effect to move himself 1 over to the next column. He goes on to whatever column he points next to. So if you put him on Dark Templar's farthest, then you trigger Chainlink 1 Dark Templar, Chainlink 2 Dark Infant. Dark Infant goes first. Dark Infant moves over 1, becomes some other type. So I normally name Divine. And then you summon out 3 level 4 Aghanistic monsters. And then we have the one Lingribo because trap cards still do exist in the format. Anyways, for the side, I'm running 3 Nibiru, 3 Lightning Storms because back row is one of the things we don't like. I'm running the Crossout Designator to go with Nibiru. You burn through your 5/7s extremely quick in this deck, so being able to out Nibiru is very, very good. We got the evenly matched, and we do have the Anti-Spell Fragrance. But that is the deck altogether. Let's jump into the queue and see how well we do in a game. All right, folks, so here we are. So our deck definitely wants to be going first so we can set up the arrival and basically just sit there without any problems. So let's go full rock. Nope, it looks like we will have to find out. All right, so we did draw 2 hand traps. We drew pretty well as well. We got Upstart Goblin and we did get a Picari. We got a way to search out anything we need. All right, let's see what our opponent is playing. What do we have here today? What amazing deck will we be playing against? Oh, I see. We are playing Runic, which I still think is a very good deck for the format. Okay. Oh no, we're playing Sprite Runic. There's only one reason you ever play a Nimble Angler. To get into Nimble Beavers. Alright, it's going to be adding here. Oof. The problem is, I think I have to let him have the fountain here. I mean, it matters on what his last card in his last 2 cards in his hand are. If he wants to cycle this turn, he has to have something that targets Hugin. I mean, it's not impossible. Well, there goes 1 Doan, but we already own 2 Doan. Yeah, let's not give him Nimbles. Now, this is very interesting because this is Sprite, but Sprite did lose Elf. So we'll have to see exactly what he's going to go all for. So he's going to go Sprite Blues to get Sprite Jet. It's not like these combos ever change from any other Sprite players. So anyways, he's got Sprite Jet. He can go into Smashers. So anyways, he's going to trigger Jet. He's probably going to go in to get Smashers if I have to take a guess. And then he can make Gigantic to get into anything else he needs, which can be either Carrot or Red. So kind of matter on what our next draw will be. I didn't see what he grabbed. Apologies. I think he grabbed the Smashers. Alright, so now we got Gigantic. Gigantic effect. So this only gets him 1 of the cards, because again, he can't go into his main Link 2 engine of Sprite Elf, so that's going to bring in the Lizard, Ipipira, which is going to let him draw 1 card. Which, funny enough, is basically all he can ever do, because without Elf, they can't resurrect it about 10,000 times. He's already started. His hand was pretty okay, but I mean, he did not, funny enough, he didn't go get the fountain with, well, I was kind of surprised. With the tip, he went and got Destruction, which is kind of surprising to me that he went and got Destruction instead of, but I mean, yeah, that's a good, Link too. IP Masquerena. Okay, so we know for a fact he has Destruction in his hand, as well as, probably whatever he grabbed off Jet, which I suppose is probably, you know, I'll actually take that. I'm not going to cry about that. because I'd rather him not Ash my Hikari. All right, so let's go get I Meet You. Now he still has the trigger here, mind you. He still has IP to go. Again, I can't stop IP. There's nothing I can do to stop IP from going into, of course, Unicorn here. He's letting me go for a pretty good while. I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, I know for a fact this is probably destruction. No, flashing fire. I'm gonna show him the fire. Grab an Aichi. Trigger the field spell. This is probably going to eat the IP. This has to eat the IP. No, it's not going to eat the IP. Interesting. Yeah, trigger. He has yet to trigger destruction, nor has he gone for the IP. To me, that would have been the perfect point to IP. I'd have to have another copy of the field spell in my hand, because, well, I mean, he does only have one card left in his hand, so he's got to be cautious on when he wants to use it. We're not going to activate Parallel Seed. Doan, trigger effects, Chainlink 1. We will banish. Chainlink 2. Add back to the yellow. The light. Just trying to think where exactly he's going to end his game. Transcode. Grab that. We are not going to chain a response to Agnister or Parallel. It's interesting. I wonder if he's trying to keep destruction. But even then, if he kept flashing fire in his hand, he doesn't have the open spot. So there's IP. I was wondering when we were finally going to see her. So this is probably going to go into Unicorn if I had to take a guess. No, he's going to go to Sprite Sprint. Sprint's effect. It's also protective and destruction. He's going to trigger Merly? Holy crap, it's just what? Runic Sprite with the small amount of tier limits. Now he's got Dragon Spellia, which is going to be an annoying card to rip apart. So now he's going to negate Transcode Talker. Well, that's its one and only negate. It's one of the only triggers. So that still leaves destruction though. Or flashing fire. I don't know why I keep this calling it destruction. It's flashing fire. Well, I mean, we can't go Transcode Talker. I mean, we can still go into stuff. It's going to be a little weird. Some that Mari. Let's see. Guess we can go into Infant now. This makes things complicated. Because we could go Splash. We trigger parallel. I mean, this is our only other Dark Infant. So maybe we should have just gone into Splash Mage. Trigger. I'd just like to know what this face down is. I mean, it's not horrible. Now we'll be able to pop 2 cards here thanks to Light Dragon Agnister. He finally decided to Flashing Fire. But too bad for you, sir. Light Dragon Agnister. Detach the last material we have. Pop and pop. Oh right, IP protects from destruction. Oh, I need, right, 1 more card to link summon into him. I guess we'll just go to battle. Beat over that. No, I'm not gonna blow my own dude. Protects from card destruction, not from battle destruction. And then effect to special summon. Summon 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐘. I mean, it's not game here. Hardly. Alright, we'll go main phase 2. Let's go into... Wow, we can actually go into him. He's only 3k, but still. It's not horrible. We'll take the 23. I mean, he's 3k with him only really drawing 1 card. And I think he must have grabbed a starter. I'm not exactly sure what he grabbed off of Jets. Even then, the one problem is unless he has another runic card to get into, say, or he has a lava golem. Yeah, 1 card I didn't kind of want to see, but okay. I mean, he better have some defense up because as right now he doesn't have any level 2s to do anything. All right, well he's set 1. This lava golem wins me the game. Yeah, I'll take my damage. I'll trigger Kari. Let's get Idol Reborn. Idol Reborn is a quick play, so we could target and bring something back. Summon that. Idol Reborn. Let's bring back the Doan, because then we can trigger Doan to give him something from the graveyard. Doan, let's grab 𝐒𝐻𝐿. And then we'll be able to go transcode, summon back. Doan, get Idol Reborn back to our hands. Trigger, summon, will be co-linked. Basically, we're done. I mean, our opponent can have a monster, but I'm gonna swing first with this, and then I will swing with transcode. So he did have a way to get into a... So he's probably summoning... Okay, well, we summon Hugin. I'll blow up the Hugin. Hugin cycles. But anyways, that's pretty much it. So we'll just go to end phase. My security dragon is not a quick play. Again, he's top decking anything. Again, none of his sprite cards can trigger because they have to be special summoned to be trigger their effects. And even if he summons out a runic card, it's not going to be useful to him. Alright, well, that one. Alright, so we will be going second here. Nibiru really isn't good in this matchup because he's just going to resolve. He's basically going to just get the gigantic to keep himself safe. So we're going to take out the Ash Blossoms for... or maybe not. I know for a fact we're going to take out the Imperms, and I want to put an evenly match. I want to evenly match him. Is that really it? I mean, this harms a lot of his stuff, and so does this. So yeah, I think that's all we're going to do. He's going to go first. Let's see how good it is. Okay, or we just open up 3 hand traps and a draw 2 engine. The question is, how well is our draw 2? I guess we get 1 more draw, so I mean... So he's going to start with the fountain. Funny enough, we have the Ash for the fountain. So far, the only card he can trigger here right now is if he wants to summon a dude. Okay. He may attempt to cycle his hands. So he's going to trigger here. Who can chain link 2 to get himself another fountain? No. He can get himself another fountain, and he can go for 1 more. So he's got a fountain in hand and 3 unknowns. I'd rather keep the effect Veiler for when he tries to go into gigantic. So blue effect here is going to get ashed. And then when he goes to gigantic, I'll hit gigantic with effect Veiler. That'll turn off gigantic as well. Because he's going to go gigantic to get into jet. He needs to get jet. Or he's going to go sprite sprint. Alright. I thought he was going to go to gigantic. But guess not. Alright. He set 1 and passed the turn. Sometimes it's just that easy, folks, to just draw what you need. Draw the starter card. We're going to go battle phase. Main phase 2. Yep. Evenly matched, kids. Let's see how evenly matched we are. Because he either keeps the fountain, which he might, depending on how his hand looks. Because I've seen a lot of people just get rid of the fountain altogether, and he just got rid of the fountain. Alright, so... meaning that this had better be a good runic card for him to use. We'll summon. We'll trigger effect. We will get... I meet you. We will go to our good friend, Dark Enfant effect. Get the land. Alright. We will trigger this now. I meet you. Show Hitsuo to get Aichi. Trigger at Island. Trigger Island. Summon Aichi. Aichi effect to get our hands on Dowan. We're gonna go into a Cork Whip Kid. Effect. I mean, if he had destruction, why wouldn't he just have shotgunned it? Whatever this face down is, I'm just trying to figure out what exactly it is. Because that's the only thing he can trigger, or unless he has hand traps. 𝐒𝐓𝐀 Chainlink 1. Do-on Chainlink 2. Grab back the Kari. Grab Buru. Unless he has Nibiru in hand, which then it will kind of actually suck. Trigger Do-on, grab back, I meet you. So we have that for follow-up next turn. He's waiting for me to go into something. Summon Buru. Buru effect. Send Danmari. We're gonna go into the dark. No, wait, no. We need Axe transcode to activate. Summon 𝐒𝐓𝐾t, and then we take all three of these to the Dark Templar. Now, when you go into Dark Templar, do make sure to go into the other link zone, because we want to make sure that we have Hikari going here, so that when he becomes Dark Impont, he moves over here. Do not place Dark Templar on this link zone over here. Place Dark Templar on this one. Activate it again. And we do not activate Dark Templar here. We're going to activate Dark Templar as Chainlink 1 after we go into Impont. Chainlink 1 Dark Templar. Chainlink 2 Dark Infant. And Dark Infant will become Divine. We will bring out Do-on, Buru, and we gotta at least bring out another level 4, so Hikari. Alright, now we're gonna go into Wind Agnister Pegasus. Buru effect get special summon Do-on, because we did use Buru for a synchro summon. And we cannot bring back Buru. So we'll turn these two into Splash Mage. Then we go Splash Mage to then bring back Aichi. Now, we could use Idol Reborn and make him 6k by just bringing out Wind, something we don't. But 5k is good enough. We don't need to be summoning the biggest beat stick in the world. Alright, well, our beat stick has now entered the field. He's unaffected by all card effects. Unless our opponent decides, he's running kaijus in a deck that clearly we just saw runs Lava Golem. So, I mean, that's the one theory we have to be mindful of, that we know for a fact he's running Lava Golem in his deck. Ugh. Well, it's not terrible. Not great either, but not terrible. We'll go with end phase. I mean, there's nothing in the Sprite deck that can... Oh, right. I need to burn myself for the 23. Sometimes I hate the simulator because it doesn't just do that automatically on you. I mean, it's an automatic. I can't change not getting burned for 2300. Well, we do have the Danmari here, but there's no point in triggering Danmari right now. I mean, none of his runic cards can even harm a rival. He's unaffected by everything, so I mean, you can't just You can't flashing fire him. You can't freeze and curse him. Yeah. Go right ahead. Do I kind of do care if he gets that cycle here. That'll turn off the fountain also, actually for the full turn. So, I mean, it does stop it. Sure. I mean, truth be told, he has to draw into it. So, I mean, next turn, I think we can actually win this. I feel like next turn we should be able to win this without a problem. Yeah, because if I do Idle Reborn, I use him the pop, Idle Reborn to bring back the... What does... Okay, is your token attack? Okay, no. But then we could use the token and something to make a monster. Like, turn the token into, like, Lingribo. But, again, we have to make sure that we can actually kill our opponent that turn. So it's going to send the guy to the graveyard. This, of course, is going to send the Nimble Angler so he can get... Or... He's going to send merely so that he can, you know, fusion summon. So it's fused. I think he sent back... Yeah, he sent back one of the, Now what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to activate to negate effect. And clearly our friend has not read Unaffected. Unaffected by other card effects. I mean, it's written right there on the card. You know, if we just read the card sometimes, kids, I think we'll figure out how card effects work. Alright, well, I'm gonna blow this up. It's a once per turn effect. Activate, blow it up. And we'll make a token. We can then... I guess we can activate effect to special summon itself. You contribute one other Cybers. Yeah, we're not going to be adding any level 5s, I can assure you that. I don't really care for 𝐒𝐲𝐶 Tensitsu. Let's see. We could go Security Dragon and then Security Dragon and some other dude into a, I guess we can bring out Doan, I guess. This Doan can trigger. Yeah, get us a card. Add back to our hand to Akari. We haven't normal summoned yet, which is funny. Anyways, we'll just go into access code. Trigger is Chainlink 1. Trigger is Chainlink 2. Get back Idel. Summon. Activate Paralog Seed to summon a Paralog Seed. Take Paralog Seeds. Make a big man here. Activate effect. Pitch this. Blow that up. Well, I think that's game. That's yeah, that's definitely game. Not mentioning that Light Nissa Dragon triggers. Yeah, okay. That was game there. Well, I do hope you all enjoyed. This is still one of my favorite decks to play. Sure, it doesn't play through a lot of hand traps and it does struggle sometimes, but mattering on what your hand is, you can play through a lot of hand traps. It's very versatile on what you want to add to it by taking like the imperms, the effect veilers, and the ashes out and adding in stuff that's more relevant for the format, like spear modes and stuff like that, especially with Kashtira running around. But I think this deck is very much fun. So take it to your locals, try it out. This deck is extremely cheap if you have all I think Buru is like the only really expensive Adinister card for some weird reason, but I think he actually got to reprint his Ultra now at one of these reprint sets. But a lot of this stuff is very cheap. You probably have a bunch of the hand traps. You got to probably a bunch of the Cybers monsters. You got to probably a bunch of the side. But yeah, do let me know down in the comments your thoughts on Adinister. And what do you think about the deck in a whole? Have you tried out the deck? Have you seen the deck played? What's your thoughts on the deck? Do you think this deck is viable in this format? Yeah, let me know down all that in the comments, and make sure once more to subscribe and hit that like button. And we'll see you here next time on Mama Dragon's TCG.